A lot of referees think the answer to a better dungeon is better encounters. Better monster choices, better room gimmicks, better boss fights, better set pieces. And admittedly, sometimes that helps. But a lot of the time, that's not the real problem. The real problem is that the dungeon is not being designed as a place. It is being designed as a series of moments. That's one of the big differences between encounter design and environment design. And is one of the reasons classic BX play feels so different from a lot of modern adventure design. Encounter design starts with the question, what happens in this room? Environment design starts with a different question. What is this place? How does it function? And what pressures does it put on a party? Now, I know those differences can sound small to some people, but it changes everything. If I'm doing encounter design first, I might prep a guard room, a trap room, a puzzle room, a boss room, a treasure room. Each room has a job. Each room has its own little scene. The dungeon becomes a delivery system for prepared content. Now, that can still be fun. I'm not saying it can't, but it creates a certain feel. Players move from, I guess, some beat to beat, right? The room matters mostly because something has been assigned to it. Environment design works the other way around. Instead of starting with scenes, you start with the location. Who built it? What was it for? What is broken now? Who is using it now? What what routes matter? What parts are flooded, collapsed, blocked, trapped, exposed, noisy, dark, easy to defend? Where does air move? Where does light matter? Where can something hear you coming? And where can something cut you off? See, now the dungeon starts acting like a place instead of a stage. And once you do that, encounters stop feeling like they were dropped in above from above or placed specifically for that location. They start feeling like a natural result of where the party is, what they are doing, and how long they've been there. That's the heart of it. Encounter design builds scenes. Environment design builds a place that creates scenes. All right, I'll give a quick example. Let's say you have an ogre. An encounter first design, the thought process usually is something like, where do I put the ogre? And what makes that fight interesting? Think about that. So now the ogre's in room 12. Maybe there are some barrels. We'll put some barrels in there. Maybe there's a ledge. Yeah, all right, we'll make a ledge there. It's good for the counter. Maybe the ogre has two goblin helpers. Fine. I've got my encounter. It's got all its little pieces. An environment first design, the question becomes, why is the ogre here? What space would it control? What signs would it leave behind? What routes would the party avoid or exploit because of it? And how does its presence change nearby rooms? So now the ogre doesn't just occupy room 12. Now maybe it controls the old barracks because the ceilings are high enough there for it to walk unimpeded. Maybe the side corridor is full of smashed crates and bone piles. Maybe the goblins nearby are not helpers. In the encounter design sense, maybe they are terrified scavengers who pay tribute. Maybe the old bridge over a cistern is half broken because the ogre is too heavy to cross it safely. Maybe that matters a lot when the party is trying to retreat with torches running low. That is a very different dungeon. The ogre is no longer a fight waiting in a museum box, just waiting to be seen, or behind glass, break the glass and have your encounter. It is part of an environment. It changes movement. It changes the risk, the noise, the rumor, and decision making before initiative is even rolled. And that is why classic dungeons often feel alive. And it's not because every room is brilliantly laid out and done. And it's not because every monster is perfectly placed. It's because the place has logic, pressure, and consequence. And that matters in BX because the game cares about things modern and counter heavy design often pushes into the background. Time matters, light matters, noise matters, routes matter, retreat matters, wandering monsters matter, doors matter, distance matters, encumbrance matters. If the environment is flat, a lot of those rules feel like bookkeeping. If the environment is alive, those same rules create tension. And that is the piece a lot of people miss. See, BX exploration does not become interesting just because you are checking turns and counting torches. It becomes interesting when a dungeon is built in a way that makes those procedures bite. A good environment gives the party meaningful choices that are not just fight or do not fight. 'Tis the question. No, it's do we take the flooded route because it's shorter? Do we risk the narrow stairs in the dark? Do we spike this door and lose time and make noise? Do we press deeper while the torch is low? Do we make noise breaking this chest open? Do we back off and circle around? Do we parlay with one faction because the layout makes the other faction harder to reach? That is environment design doing its real work. And that is also why classic treasure placement feels different from encounter placement. In an encounter first mindset, treasure is often a reward attached to beating the room. In an environment first mindset, treasure can be hidden in an awkward place, or locked behind risk, or sunk in water, or trapped in unstable areas, guarded indirectly, or sometimes even easier to steal than to win in a straight fight. Again, the dungeon becomes a place to navigate, not just a ladder of scenes to experience. So, if you want your dungeon to feel more alive, here's the practical shift. Do not start prep by asking, what cool encounters do I need? Start with these questions instead. What was this place built to do? And what has changed since then? Who uses it now? What areas are easy to control? What areas are dangerous even without monsters? What clues would the party notice before they blunder into trouble? This is when it often gets missed and forgotten. Telegraph, telegraph, telegraph. What routes create hard choices? What parts of the environment make time, light, sound, and supplies matter? Once you have those answers, the encounters come much easier. And better yet, they feel like they belong there. So that does not mean encounter design is bad. You still want interesting monsters, you still want memorable situations, you still want tension, you still want surprise. But in old school play, the encounter should usually grow out of the environment, not replace it. That is the difference. If you build encounters first, you get a chain of rooms with events in them. If you build the environment first, you get a dungeon that pushes back. And when the dungeon pushes back, exploration starts to matter. That is why when players slow down, and ask smarter questions, they start to manage risk and start treating the place like a real problem instead of a hallway between fights. It's because the dungeon is pushing back. It's because it isn't a bunch of set pieces. And that is also when BX starts feeling like BX. So if your dungeon feels dead, don't just rewrite the monsters. Look at the place itself. Because a living dungeon is not made from better scenes. It is made from pressure, structure, and choices that exist even when nothing is attacking. And that is where old school adventure design truly lives. If you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. And another huge shout out and thank you to all the minions of this channel that support us in all the ways that they do. Thank you, and God bless.